Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Spumelele Zondi with your technology and social media news. It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Now for the next 2 weeks, we won't be giving you the latest in news, but we'll be giving you a roundup of what took place here in South Africa and the rest of the African continent in the tech sector for the last year. Let's start with Mara Phones, which launched its plant in South Africa's port city of Durban this year. Mara Phones is from Rwanda.
399.
Sorry?
399 for the Z.
Or 3999.
3999?
Yeah.
This phone is from the African continent. It's been created by Rwandan Ashish Thakar. Mara Phone now has a plant in Durban in South Africa too. We were not given a tour of it, the CEO saying it's to protect their intellectual property.
Globally, if you look at it, there's no videos online of any smartphone manufacturing plants. You go online, you won't see any videos of being able to see other factories, right? Because of IP protection, etc.
It was the work of Trade and Investment KZN that facilitated conversations that led to Mara being at the Aerotropolis, that is Durban Trade Port.
The company announced its pledge to invest in South Africa. What they didn't do was talk about the location. So as they came off the stage, I then engaged with them to find out exactly where they were looking at locating themselves. At the time, they had not fully decided. They were looking at potential sites. I called the CEO of Durban Trade Port and we had an engagement with them. And then they called us on a Friday to say they're coming to Durban the following day, which is a Saturday. We got all our people ready and we met with them. The Premier made himself available as well. And we've got the ball rolling. Today we are realizing the opportunity.
President Cyril Ramaphosa says the launch of this plant means 200 jobs are being created.
Special economic zones are part of a broader national effort to attract investment, grow the economy and confront the unemployment crisis, and particularly unemployment amongst young people.
It might be some time before it's in shops in South Africa. Devices are available online. Mara Phone says they're talking to phone network providers.
So we've had great conversations with the network providers, and now that the phones are made in the South African line, the testing is going through the final stage, and we hope within the next 2 to 3 weeks all of those providers and the large retailers and banks will sign up and want to support Proudly South Africa.
Stories told here say Mara wanted to only come to South Africa at a later stage, but President Cyril Ramaphosa asked them to speed up the process and come much earlier. The new phones compare well to low-end devices and range between 3,000 and 4,000 Rand online. It's the school holidays. There are heavy rains outside. These young people have chosen not to play video games, watch TV, or spend time raiding their parents' fridges. Instead, they are in the Howick West Community Hall, where they are learning how to build tech solutions to solve problems.
This project we're working on is like a dream coming true for me.
With this opportunity for this session, learning on how to create a website, of which is going to help me to get people to get access to the brand.
They have been brought here by Geek Culture, Vodacom, NYDA, and local NPO called Sibambiseni.
We deal with issues like child abuse, all the abuse that happens at home, so we deal with them instantly. When you are not in big cities like Joburg, Durban, so those kids don't have equal opportunity compared to the ones that are in big cities. I made sure that just wanted to expose them into this. We believe now we are in this phase of the fourth industrial revolution, whereby all things we are done technologically. So I just wanted to make sure to uplift my kids within my community.
They've come up with apps and IoT solutions.
Our project is we're creating a web page. So this web page provides services to people like tourists coming from other countries if they want to stay, like visit sites, so they can see nature from a different point of view.
We're inventing a device where the device will detect if there are going to be floods or anything, and that device will also be able to detect if water has bacteria in it for animals, or to see if it's safe to drink or not.
On the website, you can get access to getting to view the things or the product that we sell, the clothing, and you can actually get an order from the website. We got our people who can actually get in contact to you.
In the end, they will get judged and there will be a winner. But they will all leave having gained skills that offer a new kind of method of solving problems.
Our job as the SA Today team doesn't simply start when the cameras start to roll. We also work tirelessly behind the scenes to keep you up to date with stories of the day.
What have you established as an organization, or rather as an association, regarding this WhatsApp group Stokvel?
If you look at the WhatsApp Stokvels, people join irrespective of whether they know each other or not. So the person joining is faceless. The one recruiting is also faceless. It's a disaster.
Watch SA Today every day from 3 p.m.
You've got people salivating in my ear between my director and everybody else at the back.
This is Morning Live.
This is definitely going to be a special project.
So I wanted to create an awareness in Igama about experiences that black women face on a daily basis that they either can't speak about or they tuck away in their memory.
The more and more women are wanting fit bodies for life, no matter their shape or size, we've been able to tap into that amazing energy.
Because it seems like the soft rain, but it can be dangerous.
Yes, it can. So what happens is it starts off softly, so there are moments for an hour or 2 hours where the rainfall really falls really hard.
Mark Ketla, a very good morning to you. What are you witnessing out there?
As you can see, this is Yakske River in Sidreta, Alexandra informal settlement.
We've got issues with cars that can't drive here.
Usually when it rains like this road really becomes problematic.
Current situation in the Centurion area is that 10 people were rescued when they had been cut off by the water.
This amount of rain is not something we could have prepared for.
We believe that the fourth industrial revolution can change things for us.
We can do telemedicine. Now that means that over a long distance or any distance, I don't have to go and visit a doctor. I can actually see the doctor online.
In Africa, we don't have sufficient doctors. In Africa, we don't have sufficient clinics. It actually makes sense.
Wi-Fi and 5G technology formed some part of the conversation that took place right here.
5G, of course, has the advantage of better experience and also the high efficiency when it comes to the cost per bit.
We haven't issued spectrum in the last 10 years. We have 4G today, which we have had to harvest spectrum from other technologies to be able to get 4G, and now it's costing us a lot more money.
Many, if not most, small medium enterprise businesses are making technology their own businesses.
On Network every Sunday at 8:30 p.m.
Seed Stars, a networking ground for up-and-coming technology companies. This is also a platform where these startups canvas for funding to further their businesses.
So the core business of Seed Stars is to invest in early-stage tech companies in emerging markets. So we focused on key impactful sectors, so financial technology, education tech, health tech, agri-tech. We invest at very early stage, between 50 to 500k USD into each of the deal. In average, it's 200 to 150K, and we do 12 to 15 deals a year.
There we met up with entrepreneurs who have started solution-driven businesses that can solve daily challenges. One such company is Mozambican-based Chapita app and South Africa's Help Serve.
Run the startup called Chapita. It's a system that gathers information of public transport in real time, and it's connected to GPS tracking devices installed in all of Maputo public transportation network, and allows passengers from their cell phone to track and know the location in real time of the bus.
We have co-founded an app with one of our partners, which the aim is to deal with the services on demand. Like, you know how difficult it is for you to get a plumber. You have to Google, or you have to go to the yellow pages, and you're getting someone you're not sure whether they are verified, they really are plumbers, or whatever the case would be. You're not sure of the security if they're going to be changing on a daily basis. So we're trying to deal with that issue of how do people procure these services on demand, but also there is that element of that they are secure and that they are vetted and that we know that they are safe.
The small number in women participation in the tech space has been a major talking point in this era of the 4IR, but it seems that this has taken a turn over time.
When I started in the tech industry about 15 years ago, as part of building the tech ecosystem, part of the founding team at the iHub, there were not very many women entrepreneurs and women in actually tech. When we had the launch of the iHub, where there were about 500 people, we could actually count the women off two hands. So we decided to form networks like Akira Chicks and Women Who Mentor and Innovate in Africa. At least about 10 years ago, it was 10%. Now it's actually increased to 13 to 15%. So we're doing much better a decade later.
The annual SeedStars Summit held a series of workshops and finally a competition for startups vying for the ultimate prize. The event took place in the period of 3 days at the Johannesburg CBD.
In 2019, South Africans across the country turned to Google for all the answers. Now, Google has unveiled its 2019 Year in Search, a look at the top trending searches of the year.
Load shedding. That's what South Africans are interested in. South Africans are interested in load shedding, cornflakes, and the rugby.
Load shedding topped the 2019 trends.
South Africans have always been interested in current affairs and what is happening. You'll see the elections are also on the list, so things like that always make the list. But I think load shedding has been particularly problematic in the past couple of years, so that's continually showing up.
Search has always offered a window into what people need, want, and intend to do.
Beauty content, because I'm a beauty content creator, so it's makeup, where I can get sales and that type of stuff. I search for funny videos, I search for humor and stuff like that.
The most searched for South African personalities included the late James Small, Chester Williams, as well as media personality Xolani Gwala. South Africans proved they love their sport with searches including the Rugby World Cup, the Cricket World Cup, India versus South Africa, and Soweto rivals Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates.
The World Cup made sense. I expected to see some of the rugby team players, which we did. So Siya Kolisi is on the list, Faf de Klerk is on the list. So you see that. A lot of South African lost a lot of good people this year, like Xolani Gwala. So you expect to see those names on the list as well. So so those were on the list.
As we head into 2020, people's expectations will continue to rise. They will ask increasingly detailed questions and expect brands to provide answers that are tailored just for them. Ultimately, it will be the brands that are deemed truly helpful that will rise above the competition.
fourth industrial revolution can change things for us.
We can do telemedicine. Now that means that over a long distance or any distance, I don't have to go and visit a doctor. I can actually see the doctor online.
In Africa, we don't have sufficient doctors. In Africa, we don't have sufficient clinics. It actually makes sense.
Wi-Fi and 5G technology formed some part of the conversation that took place right here.
5G, of course, has the advantage of better experience and also the high efficiency when it comes to the cost per bed.
We haven't issued spectrum in the last 10 years. We have 4G today, which we have had to harvest spectrum from other technologies to be able to get 4G, and now it's costing us a lot more money.
Many, if not most, small medium enterprise businesses are making technology their own businesses.
On Network every Sunday at 8:30 p.m.
Travel and tourism has been given a whole new meaning on Trends Travel. We uncover Africa's hidden treasures and the wonders of the world. We have our pulse on Africa's diverse heritage. A combination of entertainment and lifestyle news.
This is beautiful.
Every time you look at this,
beautiful.
You'll be inspired to explore the language and the culture.
Oh wow. This is
you want to give it a try? Like you want to wear it? So we can see what you look like. Exactly like that. Hala, la musutu wetu.
This is 22-year-old Pleru Grebe, a graphic design student from Ivory Coast. He is also the creator of Zuzukwa, emojis reflecting African culture, social expressions, food and tradition.
As an African and Ivorian, we have our own codes. You won't find that in the traditional emojis. So thanks to Zuzukwa, we can send an expression like this now, and automatically the conversation flows more easily.
Grebe began creating the emojis in 2017 and sought inspiration from the streets of the capital Abidjan, everyday life and his friends. The emojis have since gained popularity.
The idea didn't come to me straight away. At the beginning, I was looking at ways of promoting Ivorian masks, incorporating them into my work, and during my holidays from first to second year, I thought about creating emojis to achieve that.
Food features prominently in the emojis, including the national Ivorian dish gaba, made of manioc semolina, grilled tuna and hot chili peppers, are one of the reasons many like Elena say that it is time they had emojis that were relevant to their culture.
They are emojis in which we recognize ourselves, that translate our day-to-day, our reality. And obviously, since emojis are elements that help us to identify each other, if they're African, you can't get any better than that, really.
Today, the emojis have been downloaded 100,000 times on Play Store and more than 30,000 on the Apple Store, and was nominated for the African Talent Awards Best App category.
On first inspection, all often seems fine here. There are traders, as there often are near any African border post. There are 4x4 vehicles that cross as expected. But law enforcement authorities tell me that many 4x4s that cross here are in fact stolen. In one operation just last month, police seized 20 vehicles that were headed for Mozambique. Some would be stolen in the nearby Ekazini area of Umhlabiyalingana district municipality. Some are stolen elsewhere, but driven through the dusty, sandy rural roads of the municipality before crossing to Mozambique. If locals ever saw any activity, they couldn't do anything about it until as recently as 2017. As they had no network coverage.
In an area bordered by Mozambique, there are quite a lot of activities happening there. Some of them are illegal. So these law enforcement agencies were not able to talk to each other. Criminals managed to hide these cars in these areas. So even the community, even if they want to work with the police in trying to identify the perpetrators, it wasn't easy.
Because of how crucial this area is in the fight against cross-border car theft, former Telecommunications Minister Siyabonga Cwele intervened. He reached out to cell phone network providers to install base station towers here. The big two responded.
It's an area which is next to the no man's land. It's an area where at least which is of high security, that you cannot simply develop without having to consult various stakeholders, because it's an area next to the border.
The worry now is that they can get vandalized and parts such as batteries stolen, as is the case in other areas. Vodacom says locals protect them here and volunteers ensure that they are safe.
Kukhona abantu abangama-volunteers around abaye ba-communicate no-SAPS for ukuthi kuvinjwe iy'moto esuke intshontshiwe eSouth Africa zizwelisa umnqele. So inetwork kaVodacom iyona esize kakhulu because siyakwazi ukulimitha indaba yokuntshontsha kwalezo moto zikwazi ukutholakala zibanjwe zibuyisele eSouth Africa ey'ningi zazo.
Apart from issues of crime, locals say they don't have to walk long distances or put their lives at risk to make a simple phone call as they did before.
La ekhaya ke ngenkathi seyikhona nginalo ucingo ingekho inetwork bekuthi noma ngithi ngiyafona kungafinyelelile bekufanele ukuthi ngize ngigibele phezulu esihlahla bese kuyima ngithola inetwork ngoba ucingo ngeke ngaba nalo kodwa inetwork ingekho ngikhohle ukuthi ngizokwenza njani ngenhlanhla ngelinda ngathi uma ngithi ngigibela phezulu bengihleze esihlalweni ngabona inetwork yes ngithe uma ngisuka lapho ngathi ngiyafona lutho ngagibela esihlalweni ngabona ukuthi ayikhona incane ngithe uma ngithi uma sengigibele phezulu hawu yila kade ngiyithola khona ngelinye ilanga ngathi ngiyagibela phezulu esihlahleni ngathi ngibambelele egatsheni esihlahleni esinjeni ngathi uma ngithi ngiyabambelela egatsheni lavele laphuka igatsha kwasho ukuthi indawo yakithi igcwele isihlabathi bekungekho amatshe angizange ngize ngilimala ngavele nje ngawa ngavuka ngayithimpitha iy'ngane zahleka zibona umuntu omdala ewa.
Besinenkinga nje indaba ye-network uma kudinga ukuthi umuntu ushaya ucingo ufuna usuke lapho emangozi ukuyima uyothola ucingo lokushaya ngihamba ngenyawo thatha ama-hour amabili no half kuyima ngifike emangozi. Uma ngifike emangozi bengiye eposini iposi ebekuyilona esishaya kulo ucingo.
But since these towers went up, things have improved significantly.
Sengifona nje kamnandi ngifona ngisho ngilele uma lifika nje ngivele ngilale lapha yana ngikhangeze isandla ngifake endlebeni.
Sengisekhaya ngiyakwazi ukufonela amadodana nehlobo.
Kids here say they too benefit from relatively new cell phone networks. They can browse the internet to research their homework.
Ngikwazi ukuxhumana nabantu basekhaya abaqhelile abasesilungwini ngibuza impilo.
Uma ngifake i-airtime, ngiyarecharge, thenga ama-data,
ngene ku-Goodly, ngine naku e-school. U-e-school into engisiza ngayo ukuthi ngiyakhona ukubhala neminye imisebenzi ebingisiza ebinzima kumina, kodwa mangingena khona ku-e-school ngiyacaciseleka ngokuningi.
Ngingena ku-Facebook, kwesinye isikhathi ngithola nehlobo zami ezangidukela ku-Facebook, bese ngingena ku-inthanethi ngithole ulwazi mayelana nezinto zesikole.
Ekazini Primary School principal says for his school, network coverage came with new computers. But with one computer literate teacher, they don't benefit the learners fully.
Our learners currently are able to use at a minimal, they are able to use computers at a minimal level, because currently we don't have well-versed people to take them forward with in terms of teaching them how to operate that. But the basics currently they are able, because we are there to help them. And those laptops are also helping us in terms of when we are beginning to manage the school, because we also need them as well, and also to do printing and the likes and typing, all those things. So we use them as well. So they are of great benefit to the school.
Criminals still steal cars here and cross the border with them. But with new cell phone coverage, locals say they can at least call police and they can help them fight crime. Remember, it's SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. That's the first part of our roundup of what took place in the tech sector in the last year. And in the next week, we'll give you the second part of our roundup and the things that impressed us in the technology sector in the last year.